would somebody want to die or commit suicide? All right, we have with us Dr. Victor Ugo this morning, joining us today on Health Matters. Hello, Dr. Victor.
Good morning, Samuel.
All right, good morning. Thank you for joining us today on Health Matters.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Dr. Victor Ugo here with us for those people who are tuning in. Still Health Matters. I will want to start with this question.
Okay.
Why would someone want to die or commit suicide?
Well, for most of the cases, there's usually an underlying mental illness,
All right.
which, let's say, about 90% of the cases, there's
Mm,
an underlying cause, which is a mental illness. So there's this element of not knowing what to do.
mm,
I mean, in this case, now when you say mental illness, that means that the underlying cause is not like it's a person that actually wants to die.
mm,
Person is on going through a very tough period in their lives where all they can see themselves is like a bug in a cup theory, where you have a bug in a cup and all they can see is walls of the cup. So
mm.
all they can see at that time is the pain, and what they're trying to end is the pain. They're not trying to end their life. That's they're two different things there. So when you have a constant reason to be in pain, you want to end the pain. That's one reason why people actually end up, dying by suicide. And I always say, instead of saying committing suicide, you say die by suicide, because when you say commit, then you're implying that it might be a crime.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So we want to always take away that component of criminality and just leave it to the fact that there's a cause for it, and most of the part is an illness, an underlying illness that leads to it. And when you say illness, you're looking at mental illness like depression,
All right.
schizophrenia, like bipolar disorder, even eating disorders and obsessive compulsive disorders. All of them are implicated, but the most implicated in
Mm.
all of this is depression.
So let me take you to this now, because I've been looking at what does suicidal depression feel like? Yeah, this is your major area. You've had experience with a lot of people. You've helped to
Mm.
save a lot of people from this issue. But what does it feel like? Suicidal depression.
Is it ideation or depression? Which one?
I didn't get you.
No, I wanted to understand. Do you ask what does it feel like to have suicidal ideation, or are you talking about depression on its own?
Depression on its own.
Okay, depression on its own. Well, for everybody, like I always tell people, like everybody's case is almost always different. It's the same. We have classical features of depression, but for each person, there's always something different about how they are feeling at the time.
Mm,
But one of the key features of depression is that there's low mood. There's sometimes low energy. Other times there's lots of interest in things that they used to enjoy doing. Then
mm,
there's hopelessness, worthlessness, irritability, lack of sleep, insomnia, or too much sleep, lack of interest in eating food or eating too much. You know, so those are the symptoms you look at. And then when you have more of these symptoms occurring most of the day over 2 weeks,
all right.
you can now start thinking the person might be depressed. But it's not something you can sit down and actually get on your own. It's something that you have to actually go to a professional and get evaluated properly and be diagnosed. Because most times there are some chronic illnesses that actually come with this depression.
All right.
So we usually say there's an underlying organic cause for it. That's there's an organic component involved. That means there was an illness that is causing it, is causing that mood change.
Mm.
All right. So it's always important to differentiate. That's why it's important for you to go to a professional that will diagnose and rule out all of those other diseases before they now diagnose you with depression.
All right. It's like you just answer my next question, because it's like asking on behalf of somebody who have a suicidal thought. The person is asking, "I am having suicidal thought. What
Yeah.
do I need to know?"
Yeah, but the thing is, when most people do have standardization. As in some people do have standardization, but when it becomes more frequent, because that's the thing, is like it's a progressive thing. If you don't do anything about it when you start having it, it becomes worse. That means it becomes more frequent. And when it becomes more frequent, then you need to go and see a professional. You need to speak to someone about it first. Someone that can help. And when I say someone that can help, I don't mean someone that can tell you to pray about it, someone that can tell you that it will go away.
Okay.
You need to speak to a professional that actually knows what to do. So they evaluate you for symptoms that underlying symptoms that might be indicative of what the cause of those allegations are. You understand? So it's important to actually go. It's always important to go to professional for this. It's like when your car is bad, what do you do? Do you go to the market woman to check if to ask her if the car can be fixed? No, you go to the mechanic. So it's the same way that it's the same implication basically. And if you don't do anything about the red light that is showing in your car, it gets worse. If the funny indicator is showing that it's going to finish soon, and you don't feel it up, it's going to finish.
Now,
You know,
okay, let's look at the hard point of somebody who is having suicidal thought is not ready to speak out. Is that a
who's not ready to speak?
is not ready to speak out? Is that a way we're
Mm,
able to know? We've had issues of people jumping into the lagoon and they
yeah,
have friends around, they have people around them, and these people actually could not see those signs before.
yeah.
We actually not hear of the story of they jump into lagoon. Is there a way
Here's
we
the
can help people that are in this situation?
here's the thing. The signs are always there. We're just blind to them.
All
We
right.
can't keep saying that the signs. It's not as it's as physical as it is mental. The signs are classical. They are there. You can see them if you are looking, and also if you know what you're looking out for. So if you're looking out for these signs of depression, like isolation, you see someone selling most of what they have. The way talking about making remarks about death, always looking to like um, say say anything like I wasn't here in this world. Making those kind of statements. The signs are there. Are you listening enough to hear it? Are
Mm.
you looking at your relative enough to see it? These are questions that we should be asking. And even when we know what to look out for, we don't believe that it can happen to anyone close to us. So if we become much more attentive to those signs, then we'll start seeing them. It's not enough to say there's no magic to it. There's no okay, you have to wait and then you see this. No, it's it's something you have to actually make sure you're conscious of and then be intentional about looking out for the signs. And once that happens, when you see the signs, you take the person to go and get help.
Now there's a one of agitation online a few weeks about unsuccessful suicide attempt. That
Mm.
should it be treated as a criminal case or a mental health case? What's your
Absolutely
view?
not. It's a mental health case. It's not a suicide case because, uh, as in what does it really mean to take someone that is already in distress, in mental distress, to an environment where they're going to be subjected to much more distress? I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. I'm
Mm.
sorry, but it doesn't make any sense. Like it's so archaic a law that it should be abolished totally. It's not even a review. It should be totally abolished. It's not something that should be even up for discussion in this century. But it's very sad that we are still discussing that. So it's not even up for debate. It's something that should not be placed. So it's not a criminal offense that someone wants to end their life. I mean, the ethics of it is even baffling. That yeah. So it
You know,
shouldn't happen.
is that where we
It's
can
not.
feel? Is that where we can feel more comfortable talking about these issues? Because it's like it just seems people don't even want to mention the word mental health. People don't want to talk about word
Yeah, but
suicide.
it's a stigma. It's a stigma. Once I think with more awareness, stigma goes away. What really encourages stigma is ignorance. So when people are ignorant, they get to what you fear what you don't know.
Mm.
So when you're afraid of something and then you're always afraid to talk about it, then you start hating it. You start to feel like you start to stigmatize it, and then with stigma comes discrimination. So everything and everybody's associated with that particular topic is something that you don't want to talk about. You tend to hide it from people because you don't want to associate it with it. So I think with more awareness and much more people getting to know and accept the existence of these illnesses, then we can be sure that it will get better.
Okay, let me put this thing to work because I still want you to just share more what is going on mentally aware Nigeria initiative. But
Yeah,
let's talk about somebody who may be afraid or embarrassed to get help. What kind of advice would you want to give to such person?
they should because their life is at stake. I don't think it's embarrassing to look to get help for an issue that is troubling you. I don't think that's something that should be embarrassing for anyone. But if you're afraid to go and meet people physically, then you can always call us and then we'll advise you on how to go about it.
All right. Okay. You are a founder initiator of a leading mental health advocacy, all going right now as mentally aware Nigeria initiative.
Yeah.
Wow, fast network on social media connecting to you. How have you been able to cope with these issues and help people to get her from that challenge, and what is ongoing right now?
Oh apart from the online campaigns that you know of, we have about four chapters in Nigeria, and they're all on ground, trying to keep up the conversation and host events that can bring people out and have those conversations in very comfortable environment. That's what we're doing now, and we actually started this cool outreaches. So we're looking at how to go down to the early stage of life to start to educate and condition the young ones into knowing that there's something called mental health and it's something that you should take serious. So that's actually what we're doing right now. Hopefully, get bigger in the future.
And we believe that we'll be able to have stories of mental health issues, depression, and suicide, and things of the past when
Yeah.
everybody come together.
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's appreciate Dr. Victor Ugo for joining us today on Health Matters. We really appreciate you speaking out your mind and
Thank you.
shattering most of this myth for us today on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, we appreciate. Thank you
All
so
right.
much, Dr.
Yeah.
Victor Ugo.